Hey, everybody, Hey, everybody, I'm Durnehviir, and welcome back to what if Deku was the Dovahkiin. So, I finally did it. I was able to get my Discord server up. Finally. It's called Drogon's Cavern. I'm going to try and put a link in the description of this video. So, yeah, and if I do get a text in the middle of this, probably from a friend. So, yeah. So let's just get into the what if. Last time, Deku and Class 1A was in it was like the start of the ambush, like everything, the USJ attack. The USJ attack started, and the villains came through, and blah, 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 all that. So, yeah. Deku, when he saw the portal open and the villains walk out, he thought two things. One, I fucking knew it. Little sense in the back of my neck. Always got to rely on that. Gut feeling. And two, is somebody gonna die today? He's not thinking someone in his class, but is he gonna have to kill people? Because he still wants to be a hero, but he's killed every time he's fought somebody. He's, either A, beaten them half to death, or B, killed them. He's just stuck between these two things, and he starts again getting flashbacks about his time in Skyrim. Kind of starts breathing heavily again, thinking all this stuff like, I don't want to kill anymore, and he's just starting to freak out. And then Serena grabs Deku's shoulder and says, "Hey, calm down, alright? Look, there's a lot of them, some of us, so we might need some help." Deku looks up and looks at her and says, "Can I?" She nods and says, "Yes, you can bring him in." As now he is grinning ear to ear, and he's excited. As then he runs over in front of the class with Aizawa and says, Hey, I think I can get us some backup. As they already realized that the communications and all that is down, and Aizawa is confused because Deku's smiling ear from ear, and he's never really seen him smile like that. And so Aizawa says, "What are you thinking?" "Okay, I can bring in some backup, but they're not exactly human." Aizawa's reluctant, then looks at the giant horde of villains and says, "Fine, but if they kill anybody, that's on your hands." Deku says, Yeah. Let's get this over with. As then the portals open up and they get sucked through. Deku didn't get a chance to summon his friend. He's falling and about to fall into the water before Alduin, he actually turns into a dragon and catches Midoriya midair. The villains are thinking this is like a new hero or something, or like a sidekick. Not thinking, or maybe even, no. They're not thinking it's a student, but they're thinking like it's one of those. As then Alduin drops Deku on the boat with Suyu and Mineta following behind. Did I spell Mineta? No, I don't think I did. All the villains, they're looking at Alduin, and they're kind of scared, because Alduin, is the eater of worlds, and the bane of kings, so, he's kind of scary. He's kind of scary the first time you meet him. He's beginning to fire a shot into the water. Deku stops him and says, "Hold on. There's a lot of them in a lot of zones. This place is covered. We're gonna need backup." As he smiles, and Alduin, he's kind of confused, thinking, is he gonna use the Call Dragon Shout? Probably. As Deku says, well, we're gonna need to get out of this water zone first. Zaldwin, he kind of gets an idea. Says, and asks the Mineta, you, purple one, your magic, or quirk, as you call it. You can stick people to those balls, correct? Yeah. What do you want? As then, Alduin says his little plan. Midoriya is surprised he thought of that. And so they executed. Deku, riding on Alduin's back, Alduin definitely not used to it, gets close to the middle of the lake, as then Deku screams out, hold on, Molt Quadiv! As he uses the Dragon Aspect shout to boost his physical abilities, his magical abilities, and his dragon shouts. So now all of his shouts are like twice as strong. As then Deku then shouts, Fosrota! Right into the middle of the water, creating a giant whirlpool like in canon. And Mineta, being held by Tsuyu, who's she's jumping and like through the air, and he's throwing a bunch of balls, trapping all the villains, just like a cannon. Then Alduin lands, and they're seeing Aizawa kind of getting his ass beat by the Nomu. Deku now getting pissed, and says, so you guys called for backup. Guess it's our turn. Then Deku looks over to a clear spot on the ground and says, Durnehviir! As then, when he shouts, Durnehviir, y'all know who's coming. The ground starts to kind of shake, and a purple circle spirals around. As then, a dragon starts to form. And this dragon, a dragon kind of nasty. They can smell the decaying flesh off of him. The undead dragon, the curse never dying. Durnehviir. As the dragon is towering over the classmates and the villains. The villains are terrified. Mineta and Asui, well, Mineta's even more terrified and kind of pisses his pants. Asui's thinking, cool. So then the dragon speaks. Quanarin, you have summoned me once again. Then he looks around and says, but this is not Tamriel. May I ask where we are? Deku says, we're on Earth. It's an alternate world. The world I was born in. Durnehviir looks around and sees all these people and says, are these people our foes? Do you wish me to burn them alive? No. We're actually going to go with the gentle approach today. But there's a lot of them, so I want you to fly around to see if you can save some of my friends, okay? You'll know them as soon as you see them, I think. Hopefully. Maybe. He looks over and sees that there's a couple of his friends or classmates up on the thing, top of the stairs. As he says, I think there should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8. There should be like 8 out there. Try and find them and help them get to the entrance of the USJ, okay? Still, as Durnehviir nods and gets to doing his job, I guess. And now Alduin, he says, I shall help Durnehviir in his small little quest. And then he flies off, following Durnehviir, but, kind of splitting up to help the other students. As then Deku looks over, the Nomu has now locked eyes, or somewhat locked eyes with his weird looking stuff. There's a hair on my phone. Get it off. That's a long one. There we go. Got it. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, right. Then Deku, he thinks, what the hell is this thing? It smells rancid. Kind of like Durnehviir. I think it might be undead. But how? Some sort of bioengineered weapon? As then Shigaraki says, you like it? It's a bioengineered weapon. Oh, well, you just answered my question then, Mr. Crusty Dusty Fuck. As then Deku asks, is it dead? Well, sort of. It depends on how you look at things. I mean, if you want to say, yeah, sure, it's dead. Then Deku chuckles and says, so that means I can kill it, or at least make it stay dead. As Shigaraki's confused and says, what? Then Deku, he pulls out his shield and a special sword. Sorry I didn't get a picture of the sword, but some of you might know what the sword is. As the sword is black, like the night. It has this strange red aura around it. And at the little mantle in the middle, between the blade and the handle, there's a star. As Shigaraki asks, what the hell is that thing? This, my dear crusty friend, is the Nightingale Blade. I can drain any being's health and stamina from this, so it's pretty useful. Then, Deku rushes in. Nomu isn't doing nothing, just sitting there staring at Midoriya. As then Shigaraki says, Nomu, attack! Then the Nomu attacks. Now they're going kinda at it like a fight. Deku blocking blows with his shield and serving them with cutting the guy, the Nomu. He's cutting the Nomu, slashing at him and almost chops his hand off, but not quite. And when Shigaraki looks at this, he's confused because the Nomu's regeneration isn't working as well as it should. Then he remembers what Deku said. It drains health. So his regeneration is practically nullified at this point. And he's wondering how his shock absorption isn't working either. This is a sword. It doesn't use blunt force. So technically, it doesn't. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, hopefully. So, okay, this might be a short one. I don't know. They're still going through this fight, and the Nomu lets out a giant roar as, oh no, there goes that page. Well, I'll just have a separate page with a bunch of shouts on it. Alright, so Deku, he gets hit by a really hard punch, getting knocked back into a wall, losing his shield, but still having a sword. He gets pissed and says, you're a tough one. Like that. Then he pulls out a different sword. With the little handle thing I was talking about earlier, the hilt, I think? No, I don't think it's a hilt. The thing between the handle and the blade is glowing a bright shine. It says, this is the Dawnbreaker. It does extra damage on undead. Then he throws the Dawnbreaker into the chest of the Nomu, and it just burns him. It burns the Nomu from the inside out. As the Nomu cries out in pain. Deku rushes in. as he pulls out a small mace. A dragon mace. Right there. It's nothing special. As he pulls it out and smashes it into the Dawnbreaker sword, pushing it into the Nomu even deeper, burning him. So then Deku goes back a bit and then yells out one final shout, which is, hold on, Kier Lunas. No, wait, is that the right one? Nope, wrong one. Rivazul. As then the Nomu suddenly coughs off a lot of blood. As then from the center where the Nomu got stabbed, it starts to turn gray. It's like he's turning into stone, or more like dust. So then the eyes and the mouth of the Nomu starts glowing a bright light, as the Nomu screams out a monstrous roar, as then poof. The Nomu gets turned to dust. Deku walks over to the corpse, or what's left of the Nomu, pulls up the sword, puts it back into his little pocket dimension. He practically keeps everything he has in a little pocket dimension he found out he could do. I'm just gonna say that right now. It's like, how does he have all those weapons? And blah, blah, blah. Because I want him and I'm doing so and stuff. As Shigaraki, he's now pissed. As he rushes in, Deku summons his bow, Oriel's bow, and uses a sun-hollowed arrow and shoots it right in front of Shigaraki, which he's confused and says, "You missed." Then the arrow explodes with a bright light, burning Shigaraki. As he's set back, then heroes arrive, including All Might, because they're late. I'm gonna say they're late. And Snipe, with his quirk, which has got to be legally called Gun for All, shoots Shigaraki, just starts unloading into the fucking bastard, which his quirk is literally just a gun. I know it's like an aiming thing, but still, just a guy with a gun. So he does that. The Kodagiri and Shigaraki leave, fleeing, and then Durnehviir comes back with a bunch of villains in his mouth, knocked out, and so does Alduin, but some have burns, some have frostbite, and it's really bad. So Durnehviir and Alduin are talking with Deku. Serena, she was actually with, let's say, Tokoyami and Koda in the Storm Zone, which I believe those two were there, if my memory is correct. Push up glasses, whatever. And when she walks out, she immediately goes to Deku, asking what happened, and says, "Hi, Durnehviir." Durnehviir also says hello. They don't have the best relationship, since Durnehviir kind of had to, keep her mother into like a prison. If you don't know the lore of the Dawn Guard thing, then spoilers. Still don't know much like the locations of the Grim Reaper stone stuff. Still trying to figure that out. But anyways, everybody gets talked to and the villains get arrested. Everything goes somewhat as canon. Durnehviir says goodbye, Quanarin, which, if you don't know what Quanarin means, it's vanquisher in dragon. Look it up. I'm pretty sure I'm right. So, yeah. When it's all done, and they go home. You know what? I'm gonna end it here because I'm tired. You know, I know it's like only 10 o'clock, but still. I had to pull an all-nighter last night. And kind of the night before. So I'm just gonna go to sleep. Good night, guys. Go to bed, please. If you're listening to this at like midnight, you know what? You don't have to go to bed. You can go in bed if you want to. But anyways, if you like this, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. We're almost at 250. We're at 200 subscribers right now. So yay! 50 more. Oh, we're almost there. Oh, Patrick on a chair. Take my hand, I'm gonna get copyrighted. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.